Yo, what is up, boys? How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast. I mean the One Piece version podcast. I just completely messed that up.
Oh,
Today we're covering Reverse Mountain and Logtown. We are at the end of the East Blue, and with me today we have Poseidon, the One Piece version.
yeah, I'm excited to yap about it because I actually really did love these little mini arcs a lot. They were very fun.
Hell
To say
yeah,
the
hell yeah!
least.
Can't wait to hear you yap. And we have Animac from Anime Uproar here today.
Hey Briggs, you insisted on doing the intro. How did it go for you?
Not very good, not very good. I also have the image as Rant Cafe and not One Piece, so I have to fix that as well. But let's start off. Let's start off with Logtown.
Oh, by the way,
So,
before we
oh,
start, Poseidon, you got like a special event coming up, right?
I
Ooh,
do,
okay,
I
let's hear it.
do. So this weekend I am doing my new outfit debut marathon. I'll be streaming for 5 days straight. Lots of fun events happening during those 5 days. I'm doing a Pokemon TCG VTuber tournament this weekend. It's been a big event I've been planning for months now, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. We have 8 VTubers competing for the title of the Pokemon TCG V League champion happening.
Oh hell yeah, that's
So I'm
awesome.
really excited. Yeah. They've all been working. All 8 of them have been working really hard to learn the game. I've been collabing with them and all that. So super excited to see how that goes this weekend. And then throughout the week, I'll be collabing with other VTubers and doing some fun stuff. Me and Zeus are doing a PowerPoint night. And then I'm also doing a Pokemon spelling bee too during one of
Oh
the nights.
no,
So
oh no, not the
yeah, that's
Pokemon spelling
it's
bee.
it's you'd be surprised how many Pokemon are spelt the way that they're not like it doesn't sound like
Yeah, it makes
right.
no
If that makes
sense actually.
It makes no sense. Like so that's a different type of hell, honestly. But I'm really excited. I also have a bunch of I have merch dropping and a cover too. So yippee! It's probably my biggest event for the year. So I'm super nervous,
All right,
And
but
when does
well,
it start?
yeah, it starts on Saturday, November 16th at 12 p.m. Pacific time.
awesome,
Nice.
dude. I'm so
Okay, so
excited,
everyone
boys. Yeah, go
do
ahead.
check that out. If you're able to. She streams on Twitch at Poseidon Mythos, but Google how to spell Poseidon because it's confusing, okay?
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people misspell my name.
I have multiple times already, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's confusing. So Google it first and then go to Twitch and then you'll find her and it's gonna be an exciting event. Um, we're not at a certain point in the story where I could talk about something, but we'll get there and then I'll be like, hey, remember Poseidon, your new outfit? Well, that a year ago that we talked. Well, this would have been a relevant joke to make. But anyways, yeah, check it out and let's get into the fun of Logtown.
Hell yeah. Also, guys, so this is the first part of One Piece that you haven't had spoiled for you from the live
No,
action. So this is
no.
brand new content. How do you feel?
I honestly had so much fun because like knowing that I don't know what's coming up was really exciting. Um, Logtown was a very fun arc. I actually really enjoyed it. I think it was cool to see that each like character pretty much got like their own little episode, like because they were all like on their own little adventure
Hmm.
exploring the town and all of that. And we were introduced to more characters, like more Navy Marine characters, and that was fun. Um,
Yeah, so they arrive. Right as they're arriving, we do get a bounty reveal. How did you
we
feel
do.
about that?
That was crazy.
Sometimes the best part about the bounty reveal is just seeing everyone's reaction to it. Like the crew, but also like the random people around the world as well.
They're like, "Oh my god, 30 million?
Yeah.
That's more than the other East Blue criminals or whatever." Who knew that this boy, who looks like he wouldn't be able to cause trouble, is causing so much havoc on the East Blue?
Yeah, literally like a young kid who's still drinking milk worth 30 million. Meanwhile, Arlong, Don Krieg, Buggy the Clown, all
Getting
less.
the shit beat out of them by this kid.
Yeah, I love it. And yeah, then they go into Logtown. Like you said, it's a short, sweet arc. They all go on their own adventures, but there's a lot of cool moments If there's
Yeah.
anything you want to touch upon.
Something I really enjoyed. My favorite episode of that little arc was the Zoro one with Tashigi.
The same.
I love that episode. I like. It's cool that I didn't know there was a whole like sword type of lore. There's 20. Was it 21 swords? And that
There's like
Tashigi-
3 different categories of swords,
There's
and
so
there's
many.
like 21 or yeah, I think 21 in each category or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's cool. They're ranked highly, and they're like legendary swords. And he has the Wado Ichimonji. He didn't even know that it was a legendary
He didn't know.
sword.
He just thought it was some just regular sword that came from his childhood friend, but no, it was something more. So that was cool. I really like Tashigi a lot. She's kind of a little clumsy girl, but she's also kind of badass and fighting for her place.
Yeah, and she
You know?
looks just like Kuina.
She does almost exactly. Even I was watching it in English dub, and she even has the same exact voice actor. So that was a trip for sure.
She has the same voice actor. Oh my god, I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
It's the same one. It was a huge trip. I'm like, wait a second, that
Well,
sounds just like
To
her.
this day, that is so sus.
I know. It's like
Is it?
I feel like
So-
at the time. Actually, do you have any theories, any ideas of like who this is? If there's like anything?
No, I don't.
I think at the time for me, I'm like maybe it's like her sister or cousin, lost long something. Maybe Kuina fucking is alive somehow. I don't know. I had a bunch of theories, but still, I don't know. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Yeah, that was a huge trip. But yeah, that was probably my favorite episode. I really enjoyed the Usopp one as well with Daddy the Father.
Yeah, Daddy the
Great name.
Father.
I love that name so much. Yeah, that was a really cool episode, getting to learn more about Usopp's dad.
Yeah,
at
Yasop
this
is the
point-
biggest fucking deadbeat of all time, dude.
Real.
Oh
That was sad.
my god.
But yeah, that was really cool learning about him, because you didn't really know too much about him other than he was part of Shank's crew and that he left. So we got to see a little more
So
of his little backstory.
fun fact, I don't believe this was actually in the manga, but it's not considered filler. So an Animac probably doesn't even know what you're talking about. But apparently in like one of the SBSs, Oda like wrote about what happened. Like Usopp's adventure on Logtown, and then they included it in the anime. But the reason why he rushed is because he was trying to get to the reverse, get to the grand line by a certain point, and it just, the way writing is, it's always longer than you expect, especially with One Piece. It's like he thought he was gonna be done like a decade ago, but One Piece is still going strong, and so he kind of rushed Logtown and Reverse Mountain a little bit. He cut out some things,
Yeah.
but then he wrote about them in the SBSs, and then they were included in the anime, which is pretty cool. That's like the best.
Oh,
That's
that's
funny
cool.
because back then he didn't know, the manga could get canceled anytime because it wasn't like an iconic popular manga. But now he definitely takes his sweet ass time. Like remember Wano?
Oh my god, he includes every little thing nowadays. It does feel like it's getting a little bit faster pacing recently, but yeah, like some of these like later arcs are like 200 chapters because he includes every side story and fleshes it out, which is good writing, but at the same time it's like sometimes these smaller arcs are good as well. Like you don't need them to be crazy long.
Just get to the point.
Yeah. So yeah, but you get to see cool moments. So you got to see like Zoro with the cursed sword in the moment you were talking about, right? He tosses it up the air in the air, and he impresses. Oh my god, why are my alerts going off? Shit. It impresses.
Here are what the sword tier which you were talking about.
Sorry,
1. Seijo
someone's doing a
Owazamono,
bit donation,
Supreme grade sword.
and it's
the highest
he wrote a
quality
whole
and
paragraph and it's
extremely
being
rare.
read out right now. I'm gonna have to cut
Only
this
12
out.
exist,
Oh my god.
like Mahawk's
GTS.
Yuru. 2. Owazamono.
How do I
Great
turn
grade
this off?
swords.
All right, no one donate bits with messages right now, please. What the hell was I saying? I got completely distracted. Zoro tossing his thing up in the air. I thought it was a really cool moment. He impresses the guy selling the swords. And Zoro walks out of there with the Wado Ichimonji and then 2 other ranked swords. And one of them is cursed.
Is that going to be relevant later down the line?
Maybe. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. It was one of my favorite moments in the arc. And then yeah, you got to see the Usopp and Daddy the father. It's always that contrast with Usopp about like him being a coward and then manning up, and then being a coward and then manning up, and he's trying to fight with his like inner self to like be the brave warrior he wants to be. And then he gets that cool little shot where he shoots through the crown of the fucking, I don't know what it's called, the little thing on top of the house.
Yeah.
Showing that he's a good shot. I thought that was really cool. And then what else happened in this in Logtown?
There was the cooking.
That is actually
competition.
filler. I think that is actually
That
filler.
one was what I that one did not contribute anything.
I have no idea what that's even referring to. So
Sanji competes in a cooking contest at back.
Yeah, he
So-
does.
well, what do you like? Aren't they all supposed to be saving Luffy from getting executed? And he's in a cooking contest.
Prior to him getting executed, they all
Yeah.
split up to like Zoro goes to buy swords and Usopp go. They're all like getting stuff for this trip on the Grand Line.
I know Zoro going to find swords and stuff. I do remember that. Yeah.
So they're all kind of like Nami went shopping for clothes, and then Sanji goes to get food. And in the manga, he does go to get food, and he just buys a blue fish, like a bluefin tuna or something, which is from the South Blue. Which is interesting that how it ended up in the East Blue. He buys this bluefin tuna, but in the anime, because they just prolong everything, instead of him just buying the tuna, he competes in a contest for the tuna.
Yeah. He like goes against this one girl that used to be, I think, a waitress at the Baratier,
Oh,
right?
I didn't even know that.
Because she was just like, oh, I remember when you were a kid and I would watch you in the kitchen and they wouldn't let me in the kitchen.
Oh,
Like,
got it.
She made it like her like mission to beat him in a cooking competition, and they got into the finals, and he ends up beating her.
This is actually some fun filler. I think that's fun filler that I don't mind watching. While
Yeah, it adds a bit to the backstory, so that's good.
Yeah, it adds a little bit, very little, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll see her again. She like said at the end, like, "Oh, one day we'll meet again, and I'll beat you next time." So maybe, who knows? Her name's Carmen, I think. She has like pink hair, two little guys.
Dude, I usually watch One Piece for my recap of like so I know what we're talking about on the episodes. I watched One Piece, so I missed some of these filler episodes parts. But apparently, what's also filler is there's a bar on Logtown called like the Gold Roger, right? Animac, do you remember this at all? The bar called the Gold Roger.
No.
Okay, I think it's filler, but they included it in One Piece because everyone loves it. And just this guy who saw Roger be executed and it was inspired by him, and he opened a bar called the Gold Roger. And he walked in, Luffy walks in, and he's like, "Yeah, leave, Sonny. I'm shutting down today. There's no real pirates." And then Luffy's like, ends up talking to him about Goldie Roger, and he's telling some reminiscing stories about him. And then Luffy, the way he normally is like, "Yeah, I'm going to Grand Line actually, and I'm gonna be the king of the pirates," like very confidently, the way he always does. And then the old man's like, maybe I'll keep the bar open a little bit longer. There's one pirate not scared enough to go to the Grand Line. Such a small little scene, but it's cool.
But it's,
Yeah, I don't think that was in the manga.
No, I don't think so.
Wow, it's nice to see that like the anime and manga do differ a lot during this like arc.
I like this type of filler. Later on, the filler gets bad where it's like they elongate certain conversations and fights versus adding these little fun things with characters that maybe aren't going to get screen time in an arc is fun. I like it.
Yeah, the thing too, Poseidon, the thing with One Piece is when you have like a mystery teased, like a cursed sword or something, it could be resolved in 5 chapters or in over 1,000. You never know.
Yep.
You never know.
So yeah, remember that the sword is cursed, but also one of the big themes in this arc is like fate and destiny. And there's some cool scenes with that. So like moving on, we're going on to like Luffy being executed, as Animac mentioned, and the boys coming to try to save the day. Alvida and Buggy show up. If you have anything you want to talk about here that you found cool or interesting.
I was not expecting. So you know how like in the beginning of like right after Arlong, there was like those few, like I think it was 2 episodes where Buggy was kind of like on an adventure. He went onto the animal island.
Yeah.
He gets picked up by this mysterious female pirate who is super beautiful. And you know, there was this one point where they're like, "Okay, so like, what's your name?" And then it cuts off into like the next scene. So we're purposefully being teased on like, who is this person? I was not expecting Alvida at all.
Yeah, I
That
didn't
was
recognize her
crazy.
either when I was
No,
reading.
I
I
didn't.
just called her like cowboy waifu.
That's so fucking
Uh-huh.
funny.
Yeah, I called her cowboy waifu because I did not at all. Because obviously, you know, the drawing, the way Oda draws it, it's completely different than if it was
Mhm.
like a live action person who just looks different now with makeup or something. You know, like it's you wouldn't recognize a live action person as being the same person. But the way Oda drew it,
Yeah.
I did not recognize it first.
Yeah.
It took me quite a while. So I was just calling her cowboy waifu. But I mean,
It's definitely
in conclusion,
Go ahead.
in conclusion though, wood.
Wood. I mean, Wood, but she's also just Boa from Wish. Anyway, it was probably easier to pick up a little bit in the anime because you see a little bit more of her in these, like in those episodes where Buggy is being like reunited and rescued or whatever. Versus in the manga, those were actually cover stories. So the cover story chat, like one page before the chapter, it's easy to gloss over sometimes and not like fully investigate like who is this character. You could kind of see from her outfit in the club, but if you're not thinking about it, Alvida's such a throwaway character. We thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought she was a villain that was already defeated, so it's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah, she was only in the first and second episode, right? Like it was really quick. Like, oh, okay, it's just like a little stepping stone to trying to introduce Luffy and who he is and what he's capable of. And for her to come back like 50 episodes later, it's like, oh my god, what the?
So if you
But I
watch
think it's-
those episodes, did you watch Gaimon?
I did, yeah. I
My-
watched literally everything. I even included the Dragon Apis filler because I really liked that one.
I
watched that.
I have nothing to add for that filler, but apparently she likes it, which is good. But Gaimon the goat, how fun was that little
Yeah,
episode?
Gaimon was great.
I love Gaimon.
Also, fun fact: Gaimon is canon. Those episodes you watched are canon. Meanwhile, some of this other stuff not canon. Like it's just crazy.
Gaimon is canon, that's true.
I love Gaimon so much. I love the little how him and Buggy's little relationship formed during those like 2
Mhm.
days he
um,
was there.
also, Luffy being executed by Buggy. Do you remember
That was
how
wild.
how he was saved and what happens?
It was just a lightning strike.
Yeah.
The storm.
Any ideas around that? Any thoughts around that?
So I was initially like, there's somebody at play here because it was noted earlier in the episode where Nami can kind of be like, I've never seen a storm come in this fast before.
Mm-hmm.
This is not natural. So when she said that, I was like, okay, there's something else going on here. Somebody's trying to bail Luffy out and try to get him to the Grand Line. And it was kind of like showed during that last stretch of Logtown where Smoker, which by the way, out of all of the devil fruit powers that we have seen so far, Smoker's is my favorite. I just think him just being able to turn into smoke is really cool.
It's really cool. And it's so
sick.
overpowered. At this point in the story, this is probably the most powerful devil fruit we've seen.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, something I noted.
But then
during
yeah, you
Logtown.
were going to say it towards the end of the stretch.
Yeah, like Luffy just escapes. I forgot exactly what happened. It just happened so fast.
But he
I
was
like, oh
saved
my
by
God.
a guy. Remember? Like someone
saved.
stopped Smoker and it allowed Luffy to get away.
Yeah, it was that one guy in like the hood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just such the right events happened at the right time for him to be able to get out and go straight to the Grand Line. I'm like, there is something else going on here. There's no way that this is all just happening. It's just like a huge coincidence. So I'm kind of suspecting there's something or someone
Yeah?
kind of pulling the strings here a little bit.
So at this time, when Animac and even like me, there was a million theories. And I feel like one of them is right, but we really still don't know.
I'm gonna be surprised, aren't I?
I'm sure this is gonna be resolved any moment.
Any
guys.
moment, guys.
Any
The next
moment.
20 years. Like,
Who knows?
they definitely were pushing this thing with fate and destiny. Between what Gold Roger said as he was walking up to be executed, when the bounty was revealed with Luffy, one of the old guys in his home village is like, "Yeah, this is cool," or is it fate? I don't remember exactly what he said, but he ended the chapter by saying, like, that basically he's not fucking surprised that he has a 30 million berry bounty, that it's fate, which is interesting. And then saved by a fucking lightning bolt, a storm coming in faster that makes no sense. It's just all, there's a lot up in the air. At this point, you really don't know. But yeah, I think Logtown, all in all, is a small but really good arc.
It is really good. I really enjoyed my time watching Logtown. It was definitely a very, very fun time. I just thought it was cool that you had 4 devil fruit users on the same like island and battling it out. 4 people who have devil fruit powers. That's wild.
Luffy, Buggy, Alvida, and Smoker.
Yeah.
Okay, I was counting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a good arc. Definitely keep in mind that Luffy could not beat Smoker, and that some random hooded figure did come in to save the day and help him escape.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
no
it's
way
cool.
Luffy could defeat a Logia user like Smoker.
Do we know he's a Logie at this point? I think so. I don't know.
I think so.
But yeah, I would say just keep that in mind, and yeah, that's about it for that. I don't know if you want to talk about Reverse Mountain, or if you have any other thoughts on Logtown, feel free.
I think that's about it. Logtown was great. It definitely set up a lot of things, and it also planted a lot of like seeds into my brain. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to remember this as I continue watching. You know, I'm gonna remember these little small details because that's what One Piece does to me.
Oh yeah.
I like every time I watch it, I'm like, I have to hold on to this detail. I have to remember this because it's gonna be relevant in like 500 episodes.
literally, like some of these reveals that come, I'm trying to think of like when stuff is gonna happen, when you might find some information, and I think it's like 230 chapters in one thing. I'm like, okay, but like how long? That's gonna take us like 4 months to get to. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're not gonna get there for a while. That is for sure.
But it's a fun journey. There's a lot of crazy things that happen, and the boys are now done with the East Blue and on their way to the Grand Line / Reverse Mountain to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that is a big deal because, like you guys mentioned, Luffy is now already notorious in the East Blue, at least, to the point where his hometown has already heard that he's wanted. He has a sizable bounty, and so he's already a notorious pirate. And his journey has, I think, in real time, how much has passed? Like a few weeks or months?
Maybe a month.
Yeah,
I feel like probably like a month. Yeah,
pretty huge. Even though obviously for us reading it, especially if you read it like weekly and stuff, it might feel long, but it's actually like very quickly this is happening. So Luffy's whole dream of becoming a notorious pirate is like skyrocketing quickly.
Yeah, because Baratie and Arlong Park happened in like such a short amount of time. So maybe the first couple of chapters and going from island to island took some time, but really it's very fast.
Yeah, I didn't get the feeling that the time it took. Like it could have been several days, several weeks even sometimes, but I didn't think it was like time where they're getting like older or anything like that. It wasn't like 6 months to get from one island to another.
No, not at all. Anyway, Reverse Mountain. Any thoughts on that, Poseidon?
Oh, the whale.
Laboon.
Laboon. Oh, that one made me cry.
Yeah, it's so
People,
sad.
like waiting for his pirate family to come back, and they never ended up coming back.
This is so sad.
That one was really, really sad, but you kind of get to see like even how dangerous it is to get to the Grand Line. How pirates are constantly like not even being able to make it to Reverse Mountain.
Yeah. And
But
you're sailing straight towards like just a giant mountain, and like it's so dangerous. There's one cool thing I want to point out. It's not going to mean anything to you really, but I just want to point it out that someone says something about scaling the mountain and getting over reverse mountain, and Zoro's like, "That's impossible," and then Sanji's like, "No, it's not." Just a random conversation, seemed a little weird or random, and then I just want to mention that, and then we can move on. Sorry. Maybe we'll talk about it in 1,000 chapters.
we'll do it. It might be relevant. But it's cool we got introduced to 2 new colorful characters. What was it, Nine and Wednesday? Miss Wednesday?
Yeah, Miss Wednesday. I fucking
Oh,
love
she's
Miss Wednesday.
She looks so... I love her character design. But, yeah, now they're going to be heading towards... What was it? I forgot if they had, like, a name for their island. But now they're taking them, Miss Wednesday and Nine, to their island.
Whiskey Peak, right?
Yeah, either Whiskey Peak or Whiskey Peak is
Okay.
next. Whiskey Peak is next.
It's cool to even like learn about like kind of how this whole thing works, how compasses don't normally work, that we're in a part of the world where it's just not normal.
It's just a crazy
Things
place.
don't work the same way as it does like in the normal
Yeah,
and just having like a group of criminals and pirates called Baroque Works with such eccentric designs. It's just
Yeah.
armor.
And you had you met, what's his name? The Logtown, not the Logtown, the tower keeper who gives the compass.
Mm-hmm.
What's his
That
name?
one was... I can't remember. I just remember he's a doctor for the whale, and he's supposed to watch over
And
the lighthouse.
yeah, he built he literally built like an island inside the stomach so he could like heal the whale, like be the doctor for Laboon from the inside. What's his name, Animac?
Crocus.
Crocus. There we go.
Okay.
I thought you were joking with me when you
No,
asked.
I couldn't
thought you
remember
were,
his
like-
name.
I thought you were trying to like get Poseidon to remember.
No.
I
Yeah.
couldn't
But yeah,
remember
so
his name
the
at all.
Laboon thing I thought Poseidon would really like because of her bias towards aquatic creatures.
Yeah, it pained me. Like I felt like my heart like wrenched seeing Laboon just keep hurting himself, like on the mountain, like banging his head, and I was like, no, please don't do that.
Don't do it, little buddy.
Don't do it. And that moment where Luffy challenges him and Laboon like does it and they draw and Luffy's like, you just want to fight because that's what your old friends used to do with you, huh? And like you could see him tearing up and it made me really sad. Like he just wanted to...
It's such a good interaction between Luffy and Laboon, and then also he ends up painting the whatever, like the straw hat like flag on him so that he doesn't go into the mountain anymore. It's so wholesome.
It's like not
Yeah.
even perfect.
It's such a bad drawing.
Okay, I'm not gonna hear any of that. Graphic design is Luffy's passion.
Anything else? I'm trying to think of anything else we need to talk about here.
Let me look at my notes. Yeah, I did like with Luffy, kind of like he thought for a second he was gonna die, and then he smiled,
Oh yes, we didn't mention that.
which was
Oh, yeah, yeah.
kind of like Gold Roger too, right? Like Roger smiled in the face of death, but then Luffy didn't end up dying. But it's kind of the comparison: the Pirate King and the one who wants to be the Pirate King, right?
Yeah, and Smoker was there on the day of the execution as well, and he hasn't seen a single prisoner smile like Luffy and Gold D. Roger has, which is interesting.
Oh, there was other funny moments. Oh, God, during Reverse Mountain, there was one episode I was like really laughing throughout like the first half. It was when they first meet Laboon, and then they like the ship crashes into Laboon, and the Mary head falls off, and Luffy gets so upset because he's like, "That's my special seat. What are you doing?" And like he starts trying to like hurt the whale. He punches him in the eye, and the rest of the crew are like, "Luffy, you idiot! What are you doing? You're gonna get all killed." And
Oh my
he's just so like
gosh.
hyper focused on how angry he is that his like special seat on the ship is broken.
I
Holy
thought
shit.
a really funny moment was Buggy and Luffy on the scaffolding
Oh yeah.
when Luffy's like, "Oh, cool! I've never seen an execution before. This is gonna be awesome." And Buggy's like, "You know you're the one being executed, right?" And Luffy's like, "Stop joking, bro." And he's like, "You stop joking, bro." Like I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Luffy's like, "Oh no, please don't execute me, Buggy, please. Oh no." Like they just
He's
like
so
try to beg for his life because he knows that's what you're supposed to do, but he just doesn't care.
Mhm.
Like he's trying to force it. It's so funny.
Yeah, I
It's so
thought
fucking
that
funny.
exchange was really funny because they're both like such weird characters, like such unusual characters, and like with such, eccentric personalities that it
Mhm.
was just like the perfect exchange, especially in such a serious moment where Luffy's gonna be executed, blah blah blah, but it's like so much humor in there.
Mm-hmm. You know what? One of my favorite like funny scenes was when we get Luffy's bounty and we see Usopp in the back of it, and Usopp's just like, "Yeah, if you work really hard, Sanji, one day you'll get a wanted poster. You don't need to be a captain." Like,
Yeah.
and then they start dancing in the background, and Usopp's like, I got a wanted poster. I'm in it." It's just so funny, but then also wholesome because Kaya, or whatever the girl's name from Usopp's Syrup Village, immediately recognizes Usopp, which is great.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's so cute. I did like I liked the live action better where they were more firm with their
Relationship,
romance.
yeah.
It kind of like gives you more of an incentive. It's like, oh, what is Usopp gonna do? Is he gonna return to Kaya after the journey, and what's gonna happen? Like, it gives you more of a, I guess you feel more committed to seeing Usopp return
Mm-hmm.
rather than just kind of like, oh, he left on his journey and like his dad, he may never come back and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Exactly.
He's gonna come back for Kaya. Yeah, I kind of did like the live action where they did kind of make it seem like their relationship was more romantic, because I think the anime made it sound more like they were just really good friends, and he was looking after her.
True.
Kind of.
It's like kind of like you don't know exactly their relationship in the anime. Like, oh, are they
No,
friends?
it's
Are
very vague.
they do they like each other, etc. But they solidify it in the live action, which I like.
Yeah, because like it's pretty, clear that that's the implication.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the thing with the anime community is whenever there's um any door open, it just creates ridiculous shipping.
Yeah.
Like One Piece isn't too bad, but like with other anime like MHA and like JJK and all this, and like um Black Clover and all, like I just wish they would commit to romances because otherwise you just have people flaming each other on Twitter. It's like, no, they're gonna be together. It's like, what do you mean? It's clear that they belong together. Didn't you see that one fan art that the author made? Like clearly he's implying, and it's just like the stupidest stuff. Like people have so much energy
It's
for
not
nothing.
that serious.
Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like in One Piece, there's very little shipping by the community, and
Yeah.
I wonder why. Like, obviously, Luffy's just a fucking idiot. So, like, I feel like he's never showed interest in anyone whatsoever.
No,
So
that is
there's
not
no
true.
one to really ship Luffy with until whatever. No spoilers.
Yes.
But then like even like Zoro and Sanji and like for the most part, like people aren't shipping them with anyone.
Well, Sanji can ship with any girl because he's obsessed with every girl
Yeah.
that's good looking, right? Um, Mihawk and a certain pink-haired girl do get shipped though.
Yeah. I kind of ship Zoro with like Tashigi, I guess. um,
I mean,
Enemies to
sure,
lovers.
yeah.
sure.
I feel like yeah, like you could do like Sanji Nami, but like I feel like all these things that I'm even saying, it's like who cares? Like why? Like, I'm forcing it for no reason, and I don't even like. I feel like I don't care, and I don't even know if it's a possibility. Um, so I like the fact that like Oda kind of stays away from that.
Yeah, and you're right, but I've seen in like non-One Piece anime, like I said, covering like MHA or um, Black Clover or whatever. Demon Slayer used to be, but then Demon Slayer at the end just committed to relationships. But yeah, like people would argue in the comments, like, okay, it's okay to have like a preferred ship, like for your own, headcanon, but they would like argue passionately in the comments that their headcanon is actually true and that it's obvious and that if you disagree, there's something wrong with you. And I'm just like, bro, what are you talking about? what do you like? So it can be really annoying and frustrating in the anime community, but not so much One Piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Any other funny moments, badass moments you want to discuss?
Yeah.
I loved all of the Sanji being down bad moments. um, during these like episodes.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
is Sanji? Oh wait, who's your favorite character right now?
oh my god, it's still Zoro.
Still Zoro. Still Zoro. Okay, cool.
Sanji and Zoro are really trying to fight for first, but I think right now I still really love Zoro. But Sanji is it's getting close now.
What
But
about Daddy Smoker?
oh god, probably up there too. Probably my favorite. I don't want to say antagonist because I don't know if he's classified as an antagonist. He's just doing his job. Um, but I
Yeah, he
think
would be an antagonist to the heroes, but he's not actually a bad guy per se, right? He's just
Yeah.
doing his job.
He's
Yeah.
actually one of the first good Marines we meet, right? Like he's actually doing his job. He has that cute scene where he knocks over like the girl's ice cream and she's terrified. The dad is even more terrified and she's here he gives her money. It's like, "Here, buy 5 more scoops." As he smokes 2 cigars.
Yeah, but to his in his defense, I don't think smoking can harm him, right?
No,
no, it's just part
He
of
literally smokes.
he is
so-
literally smoke. Maybe it gives him a buff. Maybe he gets
Who
stronger.
knows? Yeah. He probably up to this point has my favorite devil fruit powers. I think it's just so cool. I
Yeah.
don't know. I love his
Yeah, honestly, I think you're right. I would I think so far out of all the devil fruits we've seen, obviously some are stronger, some are less strong. Um, Alvida's was definitely goes hard.
Yeah.
But I'd say in terms of like a powerful devil fruit that you'd want to have that'll be super useful. I think yeah, the smoker fruit is epic.
Yeah, that one was really cool.
Um,
I'm
so how,
excited to see more
go
of
ahead.
him.
Yeah, same. Have you so have they mentioned the calm belt? And you like I think they may have landed in a bunch of Sea Kings already, right?
I am
Yeah,
so sorry if you hear my
they
dog,
did
by the
mention it.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the combat I think was mentioned in the Apis arc.
Yeah, it was basically explaining why the Grand Line and Reverse Mountain and stuff how it works. And it was saying that unless you go specifically through Reverse Mountain, you will end up in the Calm Belt, which surrounds the Grand Line, and there's like no wind there. It's full of giant sea monsters who will destroy you and your ship, right? So it's like you don't want to end up there.
Everything's stagnant. Like you can't do anything.
So I guess that would be the only way to get to the Grand Line from the East Blue is either Reverse Mountain or the Calm Belt, but the Calm Belt has no wind and a bunch of Sea Kings. And then the idea is the Grand Line's a line, it's a strip between the two Calm Belts. I kind of goes around the world dish, and now they have the log pose that's going to lead them from island to island, and they have mentioned an island that's at the end. Do you remember what the island is called?
I do not recall.
Yeah,
Chat.
when Crocus?
Does Crocus mention it? I don't want to spoil anything.
Yes.
I don't remember.
He mentions Raftel, the final island along the Grand Line.
Oh yeah. It's like you have to. There's like multiple paths getting to it, right?
Yes.
And he says
Okay.
Goldie Roger and his men are the only ones who were able to reach it, and the island is the stuff of legend.
Yeah. So like
Yeah, I
obviously
remember
the
now.
crew theorizes, oh maybe the One Piece is there, right?
If he's the only one who's able to get there.
Exactly. Also, I guess should we tell her like the mistranslation of the name Raftail?
Yes.
Because like if you were a Japanese viewer or reader, you would know that it's actually Laugh-tail. Laugh-tail, not Raftail. Laugh-tail, yeah.
Yeah, laugh tail, like a tail
Oh,
that's funny.
they say R because Japanese doesn't have L's. So they
Yes.
pronounce it like R's.
Yeah, like laugh tail, like a story that's funny, a funny story, laugh tail.
So
But
take
you know what's
in,
funny,
take,
Briggs? I
go
didn't
ahead.
really think of this before too much, but they're actually super close to Laugh-tail right now because they're just at the other end of it, right? Where they need to go around the whole world to come back to that nearly that spot to get to Logtown.
That's true. So, yeah, obviously it's hard to find, right? But technically,
And
yeah,
you can't just go the other way.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's a funny thing to think about.
it's a funny concept that like technically they're close. If they just sail around randomly, they could find it. That is funny. What was I gonna say? Shit. I completely forgot. Anyway, any final thoughts, Poseidon?
I'm excited to see. Oh my gosh, the gardeners outside are loud. I'm excited to see the Whiskey Pete Island. I do know there is one character I'm really looking forward to seeing, and I don't know if she's probably gonna come soon. But I was like kind of theorizing. I'm like, if there's a Miss Wednesday, does that mean we're gonna be seeing Miss All Sunday soon?
Oh.
I love her design, and I am so excited to meet her.
Did
you know her
you
from the cards,
Did
I
you see her
bet.
from the card game?
Yeah.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
oh lordy. Excited for that.
All Sunday is great. All Sunday is
Yeah.
great. So
The funny thing, when I did my Virgin journey, I just simped for all the waifus as they were introduced. So that was kind of my thing that I did, but I feel like you're more cultured in the real culture.
or less cultured.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends how you use culture.
Okay.
I know.
Would it be possible, Poseidon, for you to watch episodes 64 through 77? I know you have a really busy week, but for 2 weeks, that's about 13 episodes.
Yeah, because I am doing my marathon on the 19th, so I wouldn't be available. And then I'm actually out of town right after my marathon for another 5 days. So it might be a little difficult.
Fair.
You know what Briggs would do? He would, during his marathon, just watch One Piece live.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
No, but yeah, no rush. Whenever you can, obviously.
Yeah.
We could also
I
find a
need to
different day, but
Yeah, we could probably find a different day. Like I have open availability starting the 27th of this month.
okay.
Everything before that is pretty booked.
So we're gonna do 13 episodes, and whenever we're able to do it, we'll do it. We'll try to aim for 2 to 3 weeks from now, basically, chat.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, it's just this month because of my marathon, and I'm also going out of town for like almost a week. It is going to be hard for me to find some time to watch. But I mean, if it's 13 episodes, I could probably knock it out in like 2-3 days.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
So.
I hope everyone enjoyed. Remember to go show Poseidon some support during her marathon, and check out Animac. He does anime content. You make One Piece videos.
I do make One Piece videos, and so does my brother Gozen.
Goes in.
So yeah, check us out, Anime Uproar, and you stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah, I watch One Piece like 3-4 times a week on stream. I am at a later arc. gotta watch everything I say.
Oh no.
Basically, I've rewatched like 700 episodes roughly since June,
Oh my god.
which is crazy.
That's insane.
But it's easier when like I stream like 6 to 8 hours a day, so watching 3-4 hours of One Piece, you fly.
Hey, you know what? You're so much better than me. Oh my gosh.
I love it. No,
I
I love it,
like
but
it.
I also do it as streaming. You stream
Yeah,
other
he
stuff.
monetizes his watching. So
Yeah. That's the life of a streamer. Monetize everything in your life. It's so sad.
True.
It's
true,
cool because it's like, oh, I can monetize the things I'm passionate about. But then slowly, everything you are passionate about becomes monetized, which is it's a weird concept because then everything that you love becomes work.
yeah.
I go golfing. I'm like, I'll stream golfing.
You're cooking.
He's
Let's
like,
make
now
this
the
cooking stream."
only thing I like doing is knitting. That's the one thing I don't stream.
It's the one thing I don't stream. I've streamed volleyball. I've streamed hockey. I've streamed golf. I've streamed cooking pizzas and cooking other things. Oh my
That's
god.
crazy.
All right, Briggs. That's too much even for me.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna be so busy this next week as well. 'Cause I'm moving out. So
heck yeah! Congrats.
yeah, I'm excited, but it's stressful.
Oh yeah, moving is always the worst.
Can't wait to stream the moving process, guys.
He's like, yo, the movers are here, guys. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your
Oh.
boy Briggs.
Yeah, I mean the first thing I'm doing when I get this new place is just bringing over my streaming setup. It's literally the first thing.
The guy's like, movers dead body prank. I'm gonna cover myself in red syrup and just
Oh
be
my
there in
God.
the box. So when they open it,
Jesus, man. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed the One Piece Virgin podcast, and just like that, I'll see you all next time, gamers.
see you, Space Cowboys.
Bye bye.
Bang.